Happy birthday, Tyler. It's hard to believe that 33 years ago you came into our lives. On one hand, it seems like it was a long time ago, and on another, I remember it like it was yesterday. One of the things that my dad, your papa, does is tell the story of my birth. And I don't know why, but whenever he tells it, it makes me feel good and happy, because he looks so happy when he remembers it, and it's just a very special moment. Now, I don't know if Papa is going to be able to remember that story, if I'm ever going to hear that story again. And I don't know if you remember the story or me telling you about the story of your birth. So I thought, on this very special year of you turning 33, my favorite number, I would record this for you, just in case I ever get to the point where I can't remember how to tell this story. Or if it makes you happy, you can listen to it anytime you want. So here we go. First of all, I didn't know I was pregnant until I was 4 months pregnant with you. I found out right before the Junior Achievement Bowl-a-thon was going on, and I was so worried that my boss was going to get mad at me for being pregnant again, because as you know, you and your brother are only 13 and a half months apart. And people just back then looked at you funny when you did that, like, hey, do you know what's causing this? Well, of course we knew what was causing this. And of course the news was such happy news, because we always knew we wanted 2 children. We never just wanted one. We wanted 2. Now, 13 and a half months, I mean, as early as you came into our lives, is probably not in the plan, but I couldn't have asked for a more perfect person than you. And I will tell you this. Look, you were the best baby ever. Even when you were inside of me, I didn't know it, because you were perfectly just content and happy to be there. You didn't make me sick. You didn't make me fat. You didn't give me any signs that you were there until you started to move, which is around, 4 months. And that's when I knew. And move you did. You definitely moved a lot. Those little elbows would start poking on my belly. And I feel like when you turned upside down, you'd take your little toes and you would tickle my rib cage. I could feel you tickling me from the inside. You definitely were a mover, a shaker, and a kicker. And let's see. Because you came early, I think you were due September 14th or something like that, and you were born on August 23rd. Honestly, it was the shortest pregnancy I could ever imagine, because I guess I figured out at the end of February that I was pregnant, and boom, March, April, May, June, July, boom, you're there. So it was a very short, very happy, non-complicated pregnancy. And I do recall that the day before you were born, I was working NFL exhibition game, and I was in charge of the whole thing. I was out running around. My feet hurt. I was out at the Liberty Bowl getting ready for all of the people that had bought tickets to go to that thing. It was a fundraiser for Junior Achievement, and I was in charge of fundraising at the time. So I know that Pepper and Livingston Rogers, who were a big deal back then, they asked me, as I was, managing a beer keg and pouring beer for people, they said, so Dawn, what are you going to do after this? You're going to take some time off? Because they knew it was quite a big job. And I said, I'd been having Braxton Hicks contractions, which is where your belly gets really hard, but there's no pain. all afternoon. And so you were totally on my mind that day. You were with me the whole time. You were probably saying, Mom, just sit down, come on. I'm the one that's supposed to be moving around, not you. And I never stopped that day. So I put my hand on my belly and I looked at them and jokingly I said, I'm hopefully having this baby tomorrow because he is just telling me he wants to come out. Now, you weren't due for a whole nother month. I went home. I did get into a bath and rest because my whole body ached. And I did go into work a little bit later. We had a nanny who was taking care, who came in and into the house. Her name was Miss Rachel, and she was gonna be there for Cody. And she got there early, so we were all sitting on the couch, and I brought home a balloon for him. And when the balloon went up to the ceiling, and I had to get up to get it down. And Miss Rachel said, Dawn, I don't think you're going to go into work today. And I said, why? She says, because I think you're having this baby. And I go, why? And apparently I had already started, I'd spotted some blood on the back of my skirt. And so we went into a panic. I didn't think it was quite ready because I wasn't having contractions. So I went and I laid down on the bed in our first house and I started writing out the announcements. Just started addressing them and writing out and leaving blank. Like, we knew you were a boy. We did know you were going to be a boy because we found that out on the ultrasound. Not intentionally. She just put that ultrasound there and boing. I was like, well, that's a boy. And because we didn't find out with Cody and we weren't going to find out with you, but turns out even I can read an ultrasound when you put it right down on that thing, and that was the first place she put it. So there was no hiding it. So we knew you were going to be a boy, but we didn't know what you would weigh and how long you would be. And those are things that you generally put down in the announcements. So I left that all blank, but I addressed all the envelopes and I wrote out little notes. And then finally it was time to go. And we left Cody at home with the nanny and we drove to the hospital. And let me say, you did not take long to come out. Nope. Even the doctor wasn't ready. In fact, on the video, you can see the doctor was getting ready to give me a little shot of numbing cream down there. And all of a sudden, he doesn't even have his robe, like his scrubs put on all the way, that thing. And so all of a sudden he goes, whoa, whoa, whoa. And he throws his hands up and the shot goes this way. And he's like, stop pushing. And I'm like, look, unless you're a woman, you really won't understand this, but you cannot stop a train from coming out. It's like, stop pushing. Are you kidding me? He's coming out. He's the one doing this. And you were so intent on coming out that day. And you did. You did. Now, because you were early, just like I was when I was born, and I love when my dad tells me this story, your lungs had this stickiness that had not gone away, and so they had to take you to ICU. They could tell that I got to hold you, right? But I could tell it was like something's wrong. And it was concerning me. And they said, oh, it's normal. But I could also tell when they were weighing you and your dad was over there that you guys were like whispering, that they were whispering. And you know how I am a worrier. So I started getting all worried. I just wanted you with me, and they let me hold you for a little bit. Then they took you away because your little breath would go, and I knew that wasn't right. And they explained it to me because your lungs have this sticky coating, and it goes down, and you have to push them open because your lungs are sticking open. So it's you breathe and you push. And you're not getting enough oxygen level into your system, which is, you have to be very careful about that when babies are born. 8-month babies, 7-month babies don't have that, so they fare often a lot better. But you were an 8-month baby, yes, you were 8 months, not 9 months. I was an 8-month baby as well, so we both had that sticky stuff. but you really weren't blue like I was. So good for you. You're strong enough to get that, get that blood in. But they had to take you to the ICU. That was one of the worst stays in the hospital for me, because normally what they do is they bring you your baby throughout the night. And I thought, they wake you up so you're not getting much sleep, but you get to bond with your baby and you get to try to nurse and you get to see them every 4 hours. It's like getting you used to, hey, this is what motherhood is like. And that's what I was expecting. And your dad comes in the next morning and he looks so happy and proud, and he's like got 2 Polaroid pictures of you. And lying in the ICU with a plastic thing over your head, and tubes all in you. And he's like, look, they gave us Polaroid pictures. This is Tyler, our son. And I looked at you and I just started bawling at that. Sorry. It's funny and sad. I started crying and he's like, why are you crying? Hold on, I'll get myself together. He said, why are you crying? Because he couldn't understand it. And I said, they probably think he's gonna die, and they just want me to have a picture of him. Your dad thought I was so crazy to go there with my thoughts, but it's what happens. All those hormones rushing through me. So he said, let's get you to the ICU and see if you can see your son and see that he's not going to die. He's going to make it. And that's what we did. He got a nurse, and I had to scrub up. Oh my gosh, we had to wash our hands with this betadine soap for so long and put everything on, and then they rolled us in, and I couldn't touch you. Nobody could touch you. But we could clearly see that you were a fighter and you were going to make it. But we just didn't know how long it was going to take. They couldn't tell us, and we couldn't tell us. Your blood oxygen level had to get up to a certain percentage in order for them to say, okay, he's strong enough that he can come home, and be with you. So, excuse me. So, I'm like, what do I do? Because they only let you stay in the hospital so many days, and it's not like I can sit in there and be with you the whole time, because they keep kicking me out. Because they've got to do their thing for you. So I went back to work. I'm like, I don't want to start my maternity leave today, because I'd been saving up. I had 2 months of vacation and worth of vacation and maternity leave. And I'm like, I don't want to be at home if Tyler's not home with me, And so I went back to work, but they were really nice about it. And every hour I called the hospital and they would tell me what your blood oxygen level was. And I still have the notes. I think I put them in your baby book. I still have the notes that I kept, it was this, it was this. It would get better every day. Every hour it would just get a little bit better. And I think it took 2 or 3 days, and we got to bring you home. I was so happy. We were so happy. And of course, it's your second baby, so you kind of know what to do. As opposed to when you bring home your first baby and you have no clue and you can't believe they let you bring that tiny little thing home. But I will say this about you, Tyler, you were the easiest baby. Oh, you were so easy. You were always so happy. You didn't care if anyone was holding you. You could lay on your back, your tummy. It didn't matter. Wherever you were just happy. You were just happy, content. You'd laugh at shadows on the wall. You were such a blessing, and you still are. I love you, Tyler. I hope you have a really great day and feel the love that I have for you.